Hi there. Welcome and welcome back to the Whole Bucket and Zebra Talks. Oh, did you see that? Oh, it's like straight out of a horror movie. Today's Zebra Talk topic is the most helpful advice you've been given. So I think it was last week we talked about last week I shared my advice, and it was to use art as therapy. But what I forgot to say was it's not just supposed to be my advice, it was supposed to be your advice. I don't know. Any piece of advice you'd share to anybody, I guess, because there is a bit more detail of your advice coming up. So I think maybe I didn't think these three prompts through very well, and they kind of overlap. It's fine. It's fine. It'll work itself out. Let me switch views right away, and let's just get busy. There we are. The most helpful advice you've been given. So for me, this is actually a pretty easy one. And I am going to do things just a tiny bit different than what I have done in the past. I'm going to glue, oops, I shouldn't be doing that. Now my pen's going to run into glue. I'm going to glue the prompt on the writing page right at the top this time. And wipe some of the glue off the drawing page because that's not going to be ideal. And then I'm going to write down my my most helpful advice right away. And then I will talk about it as I draw. So kind of just flip-flopping the way that I'm working the prompt is all that I'm changing. So here is the best advice, or the most helpful advice I think I've ever been given. Be here, be now, be happy. I will talk about why that is the most helpful advice, what each part of it means to me, and how I process that, and how bad I am at remembering to do this as we go. So for today's drawing, I am actually going to I'm actually going to make a big bubble bee. And do some doodling in the bubble bee while we talk. So, yeah, so let's chat. So, be here, be now, be happy. First thing on there that I had to learn was that happiness is a choice. It's not something magical that you get because all the circumstances are correct, although those things can, cause happiness or ease the trail to happiness. I don't know what I'm trying to say right there. But the saying that happiness is a choice is that if I look at my particular circumstance, I can dwell on bad things. I can dwell on difficult things. I can be squished by disheartening things. I can be angry at the world things, right? The problem is that it doesn't make any sense for me to be angry about things that are out of my control. It doesn't make sense for me to be or to remain sad and hurt and anxious about things that upset me or bother me or dishearten me. It doesn't make sense for me to stay defeated by circumstances, right? Sometimes I look at people with circumstances that are either similar to mine or are far more dire than mine or far easier than mine, and I contemplate things. And have you ever noticed how sometimes people with perfect health, beautiful family, enough money to pay all the bills and eat all the food and I don't know, get the education that suits them or that they want and have the careers that they dreamed of, and I don't know if those people really exist, but from all outward appearances, they have everything that should make life easy or happy, right? And they're still just grumpy and snotty and snippy and angry and judgmental and all the things, all the yucky things. Why in the world are they like that? Why mad? I have said, I have asked the question, why mad, for a long time. And I have asked it to people like, I wish I could think of an example because that would be a lot more helpful than just me rambling. But oftentimes, people will have a response to something that somebody else does. And their response will be anger. And a lot of times it makes no sense. Like, I can see why you're frustrated, or I can see why you don't choose to do that thing, or I can see why that might seem inconvenient to you, or lots and lots of things, right? But instant mad is something I see from a lot of people. Why are you mad? What difference does it make to you if so-and-so does things in an inconvenient way? Turn around and go the other way, or look away, or don't do that. Make a different choice for yourself. But whatever, I'm rambling. I do that. So why mad? And why do some people who have almost nothing seem like they appreciate everything and are happy all the time? And some people who have everything seem to appreciate nothing and are angry or sad or whatever all the time. Well, understand that everything that I say today has caveats, right? So if someone is struggling with depression, like, sometimes depression issues get the best of me. But if you're a person who has some clinical form of depression, that's not what I'm talking about, right? If you have just lost a loved one to an accident or an illness or just plain time, whatever, and you're sad, I'm not talking about that. Of course you need to let yourself grieve and be sad. That's not what choose happy means. You still allow all the feelings when you need them. Otherwise, you're just not healthy, right? You still allow yourself time to feel that depression when it gets the best of you and understand that that's what's going on. The choose happy is when you decide to kick its butt and try to pull it back under control. Also, not saying that you can always do that. That's why the caveat. The illness forms of depression and mental illness and that kind of stuff aren't going to necessarily allow you to just choose happy. There are an awful lot of places in your life where you and me and everybody stress about things that are out of our control. We are either dwelling on things in our past, we are anxious about things that haven't happened yet, that are past our control or not yet in our control, may never be in our control. And we're allowing those things to affect how we're doing each and every day. Those are the things that I'm talking about. Not the emotional injury, and not the ones that we are not by ourselves necessarily in control of. So first of all, that's what I learned first. First, I learned that happiness is a choice. And I don't always remember to follow that one. So I end up being depressed and anxious for longer than I needed to be. You need to let yourself have feelings. You need to let yourself acknowledge that you're anxious or depressed or whatever it is, but you don't need to stay there. Unless the chemistry keeps you there, and then you might need help getting out of it. We can train our brains to do things different than the way they want to. And being happy and choosing happy is something that I have, it just helps so much. And practicing gratitude really helps that. Like each day, what am I happy for today? Like I've said before, even if you're in your bed and can't get out of your bed that day, or ever maybe, are you happy then that your pillow is just right today? Are you happy that there's someone there to help you get your pillow just right? Are you happy that your soup tasted good? Are you happy that your coffee cup is refilled? Coffee and milk beverage. Just look for anything. Even when times are the worst, just look for anything to hang on to create those positive thoughts. Because the more you do that, the more your brain starts to function that way. That's another piece I forget, is that the more you do it, the more your brain is like, oh, okay, this is the way we do this now. I can do this. I can learn this. And then I forget, and then I don't, and then I'm not very good at it again. So then let's talk. So now that's enough of the be happy. So there's be here and be now, and that has to do with sort of, for me anyway, and I think it probably has a lot of dimensions to it, but for me, that goes to depression and anxiety too. Be here. Be right here. Like right now, I am just talking to you. If the dishes need doing and the cats need feeding and and I have 5 appointments next week, and if I have all this stuff, I might be stressing about it, and it might be circling in my head. And if that circles in my head too many times, then I get anxious, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I start failing at things, or perception of failing. I mean, you need to allow yourself to just spiral out of control now and then, because, you know, it happens. So anyway, be here and be now. Right here, right now. None of that stuff matters. None of it. The only thing that matters is talking to you, expressing the most helpful advice I've been given is to be here right now, be happy, and explaining why and what it means to me and what it could mean to you if you're not familiar with it yet. None of that other stuff matters. If I am being here, I am, you know, drawing stuff on this paper. If I am being now, I'm not thinking about what happens next week and what happens tomorrow and what happens an hour from now or even a minute from now. I am just on this page right here drawing stuff and talking to you. If I am being that's enough. Here and now. I'm here and now. I'm here, I'm now, I'm choosing happy. There's a phrase that says, be here, be not, or that says, if you are depressed, you're stuck in the past. And if you're anxious, you are leaping to the future. I don't think I said that phrase in its common way, but you know, that's basically what it says. I get that phrase. I don't know how accurate it is, but on some level, it makes sense. There's some truth to it. So I try not to be too anxious about things that haven't happened yet. And I really, really try to let things go that have happened in the past. Do you remember the art therapy we did last time where you wrote down a bunch of the bad things and then covered it up with beautiful art? That's one way of letting things go from the past. The other way is practicing gratitude. The other way is just think about if you're feeling a lot of stress or if the depression is getting the best of you. Just think about, is that actually happening right here, right now? I know somebody that I've tried to tell this to, somebody who could really use this to work for them, and there's a sticking point. Because if you're feeling it right now, then yeah, it's affecting you right now. But here's the thing. Let's say I'm having an argument with a coworker, but I'm at home and I'm stressed out about it and I'm upset about it and it's making my work environment really super difficult, right? And I'm sad and I don't like my job anymore and I dread getting up to go to work in the morning and whatever. If it is my weekend and it is time to make dinner and, you know, hang out with the family at the dinner table and find out what the kids have done with their day, and I'm stressing out about this person at work, I need to stop and think about, be here, be now, be happy. Because be here. Where am I? I'm at the dinner table with my family. Be now. Is this really a thing that's happening right now? No, because right now is right now, this minute. Here is at my dinner table. I am here and it is in my head, but it's not here at the dinner table. It is now. Is it happening now? Now in the general sense of my life, and now in the sense that it is affecting my feelings right at this minute. But literally here at my dinner table, and literally now, like right this minute now, no, it's not here. It's not now. My dinner and my family are here now. Right? Be here, be now, be happy. One of the ways that you can do that, I have a favorite monk, and he talks about your monkey mind, right? How it just wants things to do. Your mind just wants things to do. And if you don't tell it what to do, it will just do stuff. So you are at the dinner table and you're stressing about your day. Your day was bad because so-and-so was there, and your tomorrow will be bad because tomorrow so-and-so will still be there. Tell your monkey mind, thank you very much. I appreciate that you're working for me. But I don't need you to think about that right now. Save that for later. Right now, I need you to talk to the children and appreciate this lovely dinner. It's very silly in a lot of ways. But it's a good practice because it's true. We are the owners of our brain. And we can teach our brains how to function and what we want them to do. And what we want them to not do. Like obsess about things that aren't relevant at that given time. Also, if it helps, write stuff down. Right? Have a notebook, have a pen. If thoughts are obsessive and whatever, get them down on a piece of paper. Whatever it is, like something you want to do and you don't want to forget, something you got to add to your grocery list, or why so-and-so at work really ticks you off. Right? Whatever it is that's in your head. If you can't get that monkey mind to stop doing the one thing, say, okay, I will help you. I hear you. You want to do A, B, and C, but it's time for dinner. D. D for dinner. Good grief. So you write down A, B, and C and say, okay, now we will get back to this later. Right now, we're going to have dinner. Thank you very much for making sure I don't forget. Are you getting the idea that you got to thank your monkey mind? I mean, it just wants to work. It just wants things to do. It's a very busy brain up there. It just wants things to do. You just got to understand that if it's not doing what you want, you get to help teach it how to do things that you want. So for this particular day, if you're following along, you're going to write down what is the most helpful advice that you've received. I would really, really like it for anyone who is willing to do so to go ahead and share a piece of advice here that is really meaningful to you. This isn't necessarily what you would tell other people, although if it's meaningful to you, maybe that is what you would share with other people. But not necessarily. Maybe this is maybe it's a very specific to you kind of advice, right? But whatever it is, if it's super meaningful to you, even if it is super specific, it might help other people. It might help other people. You don't know. It could be helpful. I don't have anything else to say about this. This is a short one, I guess, and I've rambled a lot. So I'm going to continue doodling and doing designs in my bee. So be here, be now, be happy. And then here's what this is supposed to be, right? Just be. Just be. Just be. Just chill. Just take a deep breath. You be you, and you be okay being you. All right. Easy week for me, anyway. I hope it is for you too. And thanks for joining in, and I'll see you next week with another prompt. And guess what? Only 4 left till we're done with the whole book. Only 4 more after this, and then we're done with the whole book. Oh, it's been quite a journey. I really like it. Okay, bye. See you next time.